I'll give people a couple minutes to roll. Yeah, I kind of took a break too. Not necessarily on purpose, but just had a lot of life things come at me. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The new job is going well. I don't like my camera resolution. It's not like focusing. It's still not great. I'll just wait like another couple more minutes and then I'll start. Nothing too crazy today. The symbol in the background? Does anybody know what that is? Somebody's got to know what that is. For the horde. It's World of Warcraft. I'm showing my nerd off. I might have to like play with my lighting in here because the camera's not like. I moved my desk for work and the camera's not like focusing very well. Uh, I don't have a ring light. I have like you can't see it, but I have like a different light. It's not on. I might have to play with like using this light and turning some of the other background lighting off, but too late to do that now, so you'll just have to deal with me being a little bit blurry. I can make myself really bright if I want to. That's my OnlyFans light. We'll wait till like maybe 5 after. Yeah. Gotta supplement the bills somehow, you know. Just make sure I'm recording. All right, so it's about 5 after, so we'll get started. Um, so I'm gonna start out with some of you may know, some of you may not know. I had the opportunity to beta test the new OSINT certification from TCM, the PJOR. It was not called that when I beta tested it, but they're calling it the PJOR now. So I'm going to do a quick review of that because leading up to the PNPT, or as I was getting ready, still getting ready, but thinking about ways that I can practice things like OSINT, there wasn't really much other than like a few online challenges or whatever. You saw the one that we did for a couple study groups. That was okay, but not really. I guess not really like high quality. So I'll start out with the. Everybody probably already knows by now if you're interested in the PJOR. $200, you get one attempt, one retake. Originally, beta testers only got 48 hours to complete the exam. Complete the exam and do the report. That was a lot. That was a time crunch. So they extended it to 72 hours. Yeah, what was it, like $50 are going up or something for junior exams? L30, maybe I don't know off the top of my head. So with you get a report template like the PJPT, the PNPT, you get a report template. So that's helpful. It's I think it's a better report template than the ones they have out for the PJPT or the PNPT. Um, I would say the questions for the PJOR pretty much covered everything. I don't know if I'm allowed to say how many questions there were, but it pretty much covered every single piece of the TCM OSINT course. So if you're looking at like trying to learn some business related OSINT for the PNPT exam, I think it matches pretty well. Lab environment was good. There was, I don't know if I'm allowed to say exactly how many, but there was mostly easy questions, and then a smaller amount of medium questions, and then one very hard question. I don't think that's given away too much, but maybe I'll get in trouble. I would say for actually being able to pass the exam, you definitely need the whole course. But in my opinion, you need to focus mostly on Google operators or like Google advanced searches and being familiar with like all different social media platforms. I don't want to say familiar how, but be familiar, very familiar with like doing OSINT on social media, especially things like Twitter. For reporting, make sure you take a ton of screenshots, like more than you think you need, because they want to see evidence of everything, and your report at the end is going to be very long. I'm going over my notes. I just want to make sure I covered everything. I think I got everything that I had to say about it. If anybody had any questions about passing the PJOR, I'll do that for a couple minutes. I don't know how many people have passed yet, but I bet you it's probably under 20. Falconelli Green Shot is my favorite for sure. I have to use like the Windows snipping tool for work now. And it's just like clunky and terrible. Let me just catch up on questions real quick. Andersec, are you planning on doing the web cert beta test? If they invite me, I will gladly. Hint, hint to TCM. Maybe most of you don't know in the audience, but I am actually a web app pen tester now for a living. So I would gladly beta test the web app cert. We have a special guest, maybe the creator of the exam. Let's see, Adam. How much does it focus on breach credentials, if at all? So, Dirty Fox can yell at me if I say too much or I'm wrong, but the question pool is very large, so you may get something like that, or you may not. That's probably all I could say. I'll have to check that Discord out, Falconelli, because OSINT has become a lot of fun. For me, at least. I really wish my camera would like focus better. I need to maybe play with my monitor position. Did anybody else have any questions about The PJOR. L30. I as far as time spent on the exam, start to finish, uh, it's going to be a little bit different because, like I said, beta testers didn't have as much time. But I would say you might plan to spend probably like 2 full days. Think like, maybe like an 8-hour workday actually doing the exam comfortably. And then that third day could probably be your report day, and I don't think that would take you as long. But the report will take you a while just because of all the detail needed and all the screenshots. OSINT course is the same one that comes with the PNPT, but it has been updated. So if you're doing it for the PNPT, go back because some of it is, not all of it's different, but enough of it is different. I went back and did it again before I took the exam, and I'm glad that I did. Shell shock, is it a machine or is it all on the internet? So you will have like an exam environment where you're getting your questions from, and you get like your rules of engagement and all that, and your VPN. You'll need a VPN file to connect to that, so you'll get all that there, just like every other exam. But then everything else is just kind of like real life OSINT. So it was a lot of fun. It's not like made up stuff. You're looking for real things that exist out there. Real, you know, something from like a website, OSINT on real people on social media, or OSINT on real people in like news articles, OSINT on, I mean, we already covered social media, but like events that happened. Think about anything that was in the course, in the exam, like EXIF dated, geolocation, anything that was in the course can be in the exam. The Falconelli, you're saying that that Discord does the weekly OSINT challenges? Well, that's pretty cool. I'm definitely going to have to check it out. Let's see, making sure I didn't miss any questions. L30, I think you should definitely go for the early adopter badge, just so you can say you can have it. L30, you already did your PNPT too, right? Didn't you already pass that? Pretty sure you did. What type of jobs can you get as someone who is proficient in OSINT apart from pen testing? So, the only answer I have to that, Andersek, is I've had a lot of, once I posted that I had beta tested it and I had passed it, I had a few people hit me up on LinkedIn that were in law enforcement and like, private investigation type work. And they were very interested in that certification for their careers. So I can't say if you will land a job because of it, but if people in the industry are interested in it, I mean, that might say something. I feel like I missed a question. Sheesh, how's the balance between critical thinking versus technical skills? If I had to give it an opinion for myself, I would say it's probably more critical thinking than technical skills. But I mean, others might disagree. I think just being creative and where you're looking for things. You definitely have to know, how to use Google Advanced Search or search operators. You definitely know how to like maybe search things by a time frame, but just being able to like kind of think on your feet and think, where would I look for this stuff, was very, so I would say probably more towards like critical thinking than technical skills. Dirty Fox has got a good list of industries where OSINT. I forget what Gray does, but he told me he uses kind of like search operators in Google advanced searches. And I think he does something with Blue Team, something Blue Team related. So leadership position. Technical leadership. I don't have my fruit punch tonight. I'm sorry. Any other questions about the PJOR or OSINT in general for the PNPT before we move on? Because I will cover some of that. Yeah. For the Horde, unfortunately, I don't still play. I don't have time to play anymore. But I recently picked up Diablo 4 again just because I can get on it, be a barbarian, and smash things for like 30 minutes and then get off. If I had unlimited money and unlimited time, I would probably play World of Warcraft all day. Before we move on to talking about the study group, Ange, did you have anything that you wanted to add? I more than would love for you to pop on the stage if anyone has questions for the creator of the exam.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. How goes it?
It's going.
I'm so glad to bring this thing to you guys. It took some really serious focus for a good amount of time, so I'm glad it's launched and like really excited to do something else, which is weird. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do next, but I'm like ready to go.
I can see the focus put into it because you have me sweating over here.
That's good. It's good. Yeah, we've been told it I don't want to downplay its uh I don't want to downplay it because it's OSINT. We have been told that it's hard. We've been told that it's fun, which is really good. We've had people that have failed it, of course. Um, I am not sure exactly why people have failed it have failed it. I think maybe it has something to do with time management. So keep an eye on your time management is what I would say. Um, but no, I'm really proud of the thing, and everyone that I've talked to that's taken it and passed. I mean, you're in that private group. Everyone's really excited. They feel really good on the other side. They experience that like euphoria, on the other side of the thing, which I think is a sign of a good test.
I've taken a lot of certifications, as you know, and it was easily, I want to say, my favorite or tied for my favorite. So that's that's saying a lot.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Seriously.
And you also have my back hurting because when I get like really focused, I sit like this with the bad posture.
Could make really inappropriate jokes about that, especially because I have a past for having dirty in my name, but I'm gonna let that just go. And I'm gonna text you on the other side all the inappropriate things I'm thinking.
We got a little bit inappropriate. I turned my OnlyFans light on at the beginning. Now it won't turn on. But I actually made my camera focus better. Maybe I need to.
Oh yeah.
No, not really.
Look at
I need to. I move my desk for work, so you can't see like my family walking around behind me if they come down here.
that.
So I gotta. My camera seems to like not want to focus here.
I can give a number of people that have passed. I saw that question pop up. We've had 11 people pass since it has started. So, for people that don't know, I'm actually doing a giveaway within the first 100 early adopters. It's just going to be a raffle. So whoever, as soon as you pass the test, your name is good to go as long as you're within that first 100. And I'm going to let uh, you know, some tool pick out the winner, and that person will get a choice of their next cert here at TCM. So they'll get to pick out what they want for free next. So if you want to go for the PNPT next, that's fine. If you want to go for the PJWT, that's fine. Type of thing.
I would seriously say if I was if I was doing it from the beginning and I didn't do the degree and all the search from that, and I was just going to say I'm going to get ready for the PNPT and let that be like my big carry me to a job type thing, I would
Yeah.
probably want to do the PJPT and the PJOR first. Just
Yeah.
because it makes you so much more comfortable going into like the bigger certifications.
Yeah, we've been really careful to not try to say like, "Oh, here's the roadmap to your career," right? Because I think everyone in this room knows that there's no one roadmap,
No, there
right?
isn't.
But I do think that the PJOR at least is like a really good addition to kind of get you into this, you know, space to say like, look at these multiple skill sets, right?
I focused
Um,
on network pen testing and I ended up landing a job as a web app pen
okay.
tester. So like now there ain't no roadmap to anything.
Yeah, I mean, I started at TCM a year ago. I was like, had hit burnout, from a DFR role after 4 years, quit my job, took a part-time help desk role, and now I'm pen testing for TCM. You know what I mean? Like, there's no rhyme or reason to this stuff.
No.
What made TCM want to do an OSINT cert? So Heath and I had talked about it before. Um, I was working in the help desk role, and part of the job there is to identify people that are cheating. And if you guys don't know, Heath is very passionate when it comes to people cheating on his exams. And so I started to show off that OSINT skill set when it came to identifying people who are cheating in the exams. And that led to him saying that he would love to do an OSINT CTF with us or with me. And so we did that CTF. And we'd been talking about an OSINT cert for a little bit, but after that CTF happened, for those in the community that know it happened there, you guys know it happened. Those that don't, it just didn't go too well. But after the CTF, we were like, you know what? Like TCM belongs in this space. We have got several people here at TCM that love OSINT, that are great at it. We need to be pushing on education more and, providing that opportunity to like bring people into the field with that like community heart behind us, as it were. Not be those people that are trying to keep people out and stuff like that.
Um,
So that's what made us want to jump in.
Adam asks if there is any obfuscation of information during the test, like encoding or disinformation. As I understand your question, I don't think so. But
No.
I
And I
also,
actually just yeah, and I discourage people from obfuscating anything on the report either. Um, it's one of those reports we've had a couple people try to obfuscate stuff on the report, and really it just makes grading harder. You definitely don't want to be knocked points. So I know that the question wasn't about that, but I'll go ahead and just like make that general statement too.
I can't think of what you would want to obfuscate because it is all readily
Open source.
available open source intelligence.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No blurries, you guys. Don't blur nothing out.
If you got some information on your report you think you need to cover up, you probably did something
Yes, yeah, yeah.
wrong.
It's
You
gonna
probably went
it,
where you shouldn't have.
it's gonna raise red flags 100%.
Grizzle, a legacy exam would actually be kind of cool, but I think that's probably too niche for.
Yeah. That's the problem that we're seeing with some of these certs as well. Like the community really drives us in the direction that we go and create. So, for instance, and this is like no pressure to buy the OSINT exam, but if people don't purchase the OSINT exam and go and take it forward, there becomes less of a reason to do a second one, right? If a Python exam or something like that is more popular, that's where the energy goes, right? Because that's what you guys are telling us you want to do. Um, And your green shot skills will be graded, but you might receive an email from us saying we need the real pictures. It's a great question though, Andersek.
Tripic, I started out a couple years ago with A plus, and actually I started out with ITF plus, not because I wanted to, but because I had to for school. So if you keep going, you'll definitely make your way.
Yeah. This stuff is all about um just I mean, you guys see Big Fox here every week or almost every week. This stuff is consistency, right? Consistency, networking, and just slowly building, the skills up.
Yeah, basically. Make good friends because it's hard to get in front of a recruiter right now. It's hard to
Yeah.
get a resume not thrown out immediately when there's 700 other resumes in front of somebody.
Yeah, it is. Using your personal notes and write-ups is not considered cheating. It definitely is. Yeah. And remember that the TCM stuff is like open book, right? So you can have your um, course, the academy on in the background for all we care. We would rather you go and find those resources that you need. Now, finding some type of leak or dump that goes through the course or the certification, like that is considered cheating.
Correct me if I'm wrong though, but for the OSINT course, anything outside of like an exam dump is kind of fair game, right? You know,
Yeah.
Chat GPT or any kind of
Oh
AI.
yeah. Go. I mean, the thing I'll say about ChatGPT is that it just isn't incredibly intelligent. So like
No.
we've definitely had students already use ChatGPT to create, certain parts of what they're trying to do, and it doesn't come off incredibly well. ChatGPT is super long-winded. Um, so we can always tell. If you're in a pinch, yeah, sure. And I've used ChatGPT before to like, hey, help me make a sock puppet account. Like, give me
Yeah.
some ideas.
Oh, I wanted to say something, but I can't. I can't about
Don't
sock
say it if you
puppets.
can't say it.
I don't think I can, so I'm
But
not going to say it.
oh my god, don't do it.
Making sock puppets is fun. I'll just
It
say
is.
that. I can say that.
It is. I would also, people have asked that question before. That's a good kind of like segue. People have asked, should they have sock puppets for the exam? And the thing that I'll say is making sock puppets is in the course. So that's as far as I'll go for that. Maybe if it's in the course, maybe you should do it.
Yeah. ChatGPT is also not as good at coding as people think it is.
God, no.
It'll maybe get you like 70% of the way there. I was using it
Yeah,
for some C code recently, and corrections definitely had to be made.
true. It's true.
Any other OSINT questions burning at people? Somebody made a statement earlier, but I want to wait till we're done with OSINT before I move on to that topic. The
The
puppet
sock
talk.
puppet.
You have no idea what we're talking. Yeah, we're talking about.
I think let's just let it hang. Like, I'm not gonna say what's going on with that. You're just gonna have to figure it out.
Do the course stuff for sure. Well, I mean, if you're doing the PNP, you have to. Well, you
Oh
don't
yeah,
have
you
to.
should.
You don't have to do
You don't
anything,
have to.
but I
No, we've
would.
had people like Michal has passed it, and I mean, of course, hasn't taken our course. He just is excellent.
Wait, he
Yeah,
just
the
took the
course is out.
PJOR, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, and then slapped it around and made it its,
I'm sure.
you know.
I'm not going to compare myself to him.
I don't think any of us should.
I'll compare my performance to my performance.
Yeah. No, the OSINT course is already out, so that's the same one that we've got out already. I will say definitely that if this exam and this course, if the exam goes well, I think there's every reason to make a next step OSINT course. So
That would be fun.
yeah, I just saw Andersek's comment about dirty sock puppets, and now I feel like I should change my handle on this server.
She does not have a Discord sock. She doesn't.
I do. I've got a couple.
Don't go find her.
Higher
Well,
level OSINT would look more specialized. So the more there's a ton of different fields out there, you know, everything from like aviation to like naval OSINT, to some more you like the further you get into OSINT, kind of the further that you start to step into like threat intel. And so that's what higher level OSINT would look like, is these very specialized skill sets.
I got paperwork in the mail today talking about the what was it? Not the Department of Defense. Another scary department running my credit report, and it just felt weird.
Yeah.
It was like, was it counterintelligence or something like that? It was just
Yeah.
weird to get those. It was weird to get those letters in the mail from my
You know, the
clearance.
funny thing is, we looked for competition for the PJOR, and we like found some stuff, of course, but like there are some military only certifications um for OSINT, and that I was like, so we're basically going up against like SANS, which is super expensive, and the military, which doesn't release their certification to the public. Cool, we got this.
I
We
just
got this
learned
for
something. I did not know they had any kind of OSINT certification. I don't know anybody had an OSINT certification.
Yeah, yeah. SANS has something, and then there's a couple of individuals that have certifications, but there's not really like companies out there that have OSINT certifications.
Cyber Nerd says, I'm doing the PNPT. Should I do the OSINT search since I'm already doing it and get the early badge? The only way I can answer that is I would, because that's part of the reason I'm sitting here doing a review on the PGOR, is because like I said in the beginning, maybe you weren't here, but I was like, I was even asking Dirty Fox and some other people, what can I do to like practice OSINT? Because I was kind of worried about that. I still don't feel like I'm strong at it, but I was like, what can I do to practice OSINT before I take the PMPT? And then it was answered.
Yeah. My advice was to like step into the real world and just go through the motions that you're taught in the OSINT course.
Which is
Um,
good. But for someone
mhm,
like me, that like it's good for me to have some kind of like a structured challenge that I'm going after.
right. Yeah, we took out references to trace labs, um, because OSINT challenge, Wild West Hackin' Fest, TCM security, Wild West Hackin' Fest 2023. You can go OSINT it yourself and figure out what happened. And I was on the team, and it didn't feel good.
Yeah. I
So you
didn't want
guys
to be the
figure
one
it
to say it.
figure it out yourselves.
Do you
I
think
did dance when I was saying that, just as a heads up, everyone.
do you think Maltego could help with the PJOR?
It could. I mean, it could. We don't teach it necessarily in the course, um, but I think there's a couple of challenges in there that you could kind of utilize, kind of keep consistent with it. But I definitely would reference the course. So Keith said something, it's over on the TCM Discord server, but he basically was like, we took the topics from the course and we made challenges out of those, and you get a randomized assortment of those challenges. So when we're saying definitely hit up that course, and you get the course with the certification, right? So it's not like you've got to like, you're not living in a world where like you're buying the certification and you only have access to the training for 1 month or 6 months or something like that. You've got it forever. And so, all you've got to do is just sort of make your way through that course to know which topics could be on the exam.
And I think you can say the question pool is very large. Can you say that?
Yeah, it's big. Yep. Yeah, super proud of the devs. This has been, um, if ever anyone wants to have a conversation about building a product, if that interests anybody, this has been one of the coolest experiences that I've ever had, like building this product. And it's been really cool to watch the devs sort of think and consider and challenge, like, hey, that's gonna work really well. Hey, that's not gonna work at all. So really proud of the group there. But yeah, we were able to take a big old group of questions and generate these exams. What we really wanted to do was, we know that there will be leaks eventually. We want the ability to kill questions fast, and just burn them so that people won't get them again.
Yeah.
So that even if you find an exam leak, it won't necessarily help you too much.
Unfortunately, people cheat.
Yeah, yeah, and we're strict on that, right? So
I thought I caught somebody the other day. I won't tell you who or how, but I gave them up.
yeah, Hack the Box has an OSINT course as well. Social media platforms change. Um, and what have we done to kind of address the updates to the course? So the course was updated with like the recent, um, some of the more recent changes. My advice, and this is like something that I would get tattooed on my forehead, is to learn the methodology, not the tooling. And OSINT especially, like, you could come across this great new tool. 1 week later, it is defunct. It's not working. And that happens all the time. For like, the OSINT course is our problem child, because the second that we do updates, yeah, like Twitter. Yes, like Twitter. Even companies so big as Twitter shut down their API, and then you can't use Twint. Um, so the big problem is that tools stop working. So we're trying to mitigate that by really, encouraging at the beginning, middle, and end to learn the methodology and not the tools and not the process. You've got to learn how to actually get the work done.
Yeah. Search engines aren't going anywhere.
They're not. Google Dorks are the best. I agree with Draco. I 1000% agree. Like, you learn you how to Google Dork.
Mhm.
No, actually, I haven't used ChatGPT for Google Dorking. I just have this big ol' exploit um, database like thing that I like to refer to play with stuff.
I would say ChatGPT is good for giving you syntax,
It's good for getting you
but
syntax for
you
sure.
probably should also have like a cheat sheet
Yeah.
just off the rip.
Yeah, for sure. Keep your stuff to the side. Like, all of my favorite Google Dorks I have pulled off somewhere. Um, because even lists of stuff change. I'm not sure why. OSINT is ever changing. I think it's a good thing. Keeps us on our toes, right?
I want to scroll back to that one question from earlier before I forget all about it. It's way up there.
Syntax and hallucinations. Syntax and hallucinations sounds like a great band name. I'd be down to jam on that band anytime.
Hacker Cool, are you still here? I gotta look at the audience. Did Hacker Cool leave? No, you're still here. Earlier, you said you failed the PNPT 3 times. Do you have any suggestions for the group on what were your weak points? Andersec, have I ever used OSINT on web pen test assessments? I guess in a way, because if you're not sure what you're looking at as far as like technology goes, or if you need to find an exploit, and you're good at OSINT and good at Googling stuff, it makes it all that much easier. I guess maybe Hacker Cool doesn't hear or doesn't want to share, and that's okay. I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
An interesting topic, possibly. All right, so since we're getting kind of like later in the hour, I will go over quickly what I had for the study group. It's not a lot yet this week because I wanted to lay out what the study group is going to be from here on out. So the speaking to a lot of people who have passed the exam, it's kind of become apparent to me and common knowledge that for passing the PNPT, the meat of what you need is from the PEH, the OSINT course, and the external pen test playbook. So we're going to focus on those three. I still personally think that everyone should do the Linux and the Windows privilege escalation courses because it's just a lot of valuable hands-on experience and like methodology. But we're gonna focus on the PEH, the OSINT course, and the EPP, the external pen test playbook. I'm gonna do like a couple weeks of each. So, want to be able to take notes quickly. If anybody has any suggestions, requests for guests, things that you've been struggling with, things that you would like to see covered in the next few, um, or the next, I'll probably do a couple weeks on each. Starting with the PEH because I have a lesson plan for the PEH next week, and I'll share a little bit of that with you once we get some questions or comments, suggestions. Plumpy, I like your username. I just like saying Plumpy. So if you got things you want to see covered or guests from the PJPT study groups that you want to see back to cover something, please, now is the time. I'll give a few minutes for this. So Monkey Chief, I'll say for the PEH, we're probably going to, as far as this, you should definitely do the whole course. As far as the study group goes, we're going to mainly stick to the Active Directory portion. Scholar, anything from the PEH you would like to see? If you don't have anything, that's okay, but anything you would like to see covered specifically. I have a pretty good list of guests to pull from and ideas. So we're definitely going to stick to the AD portion.
You know what I would love to see somebody focus on specifically, like an entire study session,
Hmm.
is just enumeration in 80. Like that's the only thing, just various types of enumeration, how to find stuff, different tools, everything from Ping Castle to, anything else that's sitting out there that people are using.
I got the perfect guy for that.
I bet you do.
Like I'm okay at it, but I know a guy who would love to
I
come
know.
back.
Who's it?
Ben.
Mr. Coffee? Yeah, he's amazing.
That dude is. Something I'm about to share once we finish with. If anybody has anything they want to see, and if anybody doesn't have anything they want to see, that's fine. I got a plan, but I just wanted to make sure I'm doing it for the people first.
I can um assist with OSINT things if people have specific wants on what they want to focus on, and I can you know me, I can also make a couple questions. I can all of those things.
Draco, of course you can join. And yes, I would love for you to help out with the OSINT because I don't want to talk negatively of myself. It's not my strong point. I'm not terrible at it.
Yeah.
It's just not my
Hey,
strong
you
point.
passed the PJOR with one attempt, so I'm just saying.
That's fair.
Um, yeah. The EPP as well. I'm mostly doing externals, so I can definitely help out with that too. I have some suggestions for even the checklist that TCM has, and how to kind of change that up and how to modify that in real life as you're going around stuff. So you can put me down for that too
Okay.
if there are specific like things that y'all need assistance with.
I know what I need assistance with, but I want to hear if anybody else has others too. All right, so Andersec, I think I struggle prioritizing what to look for, and instead just try OSINT. Try to OSINT all things and go into rabbit holes. I think we all go into rabbit holes, my friend. Par for the course. So next week, I'm going to try and share the correct screen. Let me just find it. I have 700 tabs open right now. I think this is the right one. It's not my OnlyFans screen, so you guys don't have to worry about that. So next week, I'm in the middle of building this. We're going to start with some stuff off the PEH. As you can see, I have only my domain controller is only started, but I'm setting up an AD lab in my Proxmox lab. This was supposed to be ready for today so I could do something at the end of the study group, but Ben and I spent about 5 to 7 hours this weekend troubleshooting my PF Sense because we couldn't get internet connectivity, and we ended up nuking it and starting all over from the beginning with a new PF Sense, and it worked perfectly. Every rule was the same in the firewall, and it just decided to work for no reason at all. So whatever. But next week I'm going to start with I think we're going to do net exec covering. Yeah, we turned it off and on a bunch of times. We're going to start covering some stuff from the Active Directory portion on my lab, but one of them I know for sure is going to be covering net exec, which is replacing crack map exec. My PF Sense is a VM on my. This is actually my server here is running on an old laptop, so you can make magic happen with not a lot of money if you look hard enough. Is PowerShell important if you're trying to learn AD? I would say you can get along without it. Trying to learn what with AD? Trying to learn Active Directory pen testing. There's other options, but I think you should still learn some pretty basic scripts and just learn your way around it. Which I'll stop sharing my screen. Let me just find this real quick. I'm going to share a link in chat of like the perfect PowerShell basics for everything you need pen testing, and it's going to be from a familiar face. Let me just find it real quick.
PowerShell has a lot of applications too. In the DFIR world, we were using PowerShell on a regular basis as well. So those basics will stretch you like right into a purple team world.
I'm just trying to find my I forget what I had the link in. Bear with me, folks. I moved my bookmarks around. Found it though. So I just posted in chat if you want to learn enough PowerShell to get you by. This little homemade course from Ben also is perfect. Just catching up on chat. TCM PowerShell course? I wouldn't know. Bash. I'm pretty sure Ben also has a bash. I'm not gonna find it and link it, but I'm 99% sure he's got a Python course and a bash course on that same website. Maybe I'll find it real quick. If I send him a DM, he'd probably send it back to me in 2 seconds. I think if you start here, yeah, there you go. So if you spend some time on Ben's website, you could have probably something for everything. The dude's website is seriously like a little hidden gold mine. All right, so we're closing in on 9. We will wrap it up today. Next week, be ready for some stuff off the PEH. And it doesn't seem like people have too many requests right now, but if you guys have anything, feel free to DM me. I'll try to make it happen. I have plenty of guests I can bring in. I'll do myself, my best myself to help, but
And beef, if you don't mind me plugging the server, we've got the intro lockpicking stuff going on RSC this week. So hopefully I see some of y'all over there.
oh, of course not. Do you want to link it over here or
Yeah, I can share a link.
link it for the good people?
Yeah.
Any of you guys in here, if you have stuff related to the study group, stuff you want to see, I do not mind if you DM me at all. But next week will be PEH focused. We'll do a couple weeks on the PEH. We'll do a couple weeks on the OSINT, and then we'll do a couple weeks on EPP. And then I think most of us here, if you're, riding this out for the long haul, most of us here should be ready for our exams by then, and hopefully a bunch of us can pass them together. Things will be calming down at work enough for me to go ahead and take, getting used to a new job, and I'll be able to schedule my exam.
I want to see you take the PNPT. I think, I'm always real honest. I think you're making a mountain out of a molehill. I think you could roll in there and slam it through.
Oh, if we're being real, I think I could probably pass it right now.
Yeah.
But I like doing the study groups. I like hanging out, once a week with everybody. And Scheduling wise, it would be hard for me right now to just do that 5 day because I don't know when they're going to hit me with a bunch of work from work. And I don't want to be like in the middle of an exam. I want to kind of like ride out a couple weeks at the job and see what the workload is before I like commit to a what is it? Is it 5 days and 2? 5 and 2 for reporting?
It is.
Yeah. You got to burn PTO to take it. I barely have any PTO. I just started government contracting job, so it's not like generous PTO out of the gate or anything like that. All right, if nobody has anything else, we can wrap up there. See you beautiful people next week. And like I said, feel free if you think of something that you want to see covered, DM me and we'll try and make it happen.
Bye, everyone.
All right, later everyone.
See y'all on Wednesday, maybe.
I'll be there.
You better be there.